Before I get started, I want to talk about the place that we're at. The place that we're at is a new memorial that was just dedicated a couple of years ago. We've always had a memorial to honor those deputy sheriffs that have died in the line of duty, and it was located at headquarters in the atrium. And the interesting thing about putting it at headquarters in the atrium that I always thought, and I explained this to some of Kesha's family members earlier, there's really no self-respecting Sheriff's Department employee that wants to go to headquarters and hang out with the brass. So it was something that doesn't often get seen. We thought it was very important, and I had a number of collaborators who are here today, the Sheriff's Department's union, SEBA, Rob Trossel, who's one of our deputy chiefs that are here today, the operating engineers who train at this facility day in and day out that helped us build this facility, and a number of others that have helped with this. But it was important to me as the sheriff, and there are a number of things whenever you become an elected official, you come to the table with things that you think are important and things you'd like to accomplish. This is one of the things that I probably say is the most important thing that I could accomplish, and that's honoring those that have come before us and those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. But what's unique about these grounds here is the fact that we're adjacent to the academy. And what we're asking and what the tactical staff here asks of our new recruits is that they know each and every name represented on these walls and how they passed away. And it means that even though they're no longer with us, it still puts purpose to their life. And that purpose will live forever in all the trainees and professional staff that come to this place. For all you family members, Cameron, you will always have access to me. But one of the things I really want for you most of all is anytime we need to talk to Kesha, anytime we need to be near her, this is your place. This is your place to come out. And when I talk to the academy staff, they tell me while they're sitting in their offices, they're able to see people that stop by and visit, and they physically touch the names of the folks that we've lost in the line of duty. And please know that along with you and your sacrifice as family members, Cameron, we can say we know exactly what you're going through. The reality is those of us that haven't been through it, we're just saying that to try to make you feel better. But the one thing we can do is we can never forget you, never forget your family, and never forget Kesha. And I hope today you'll see that, and that we have a process in place that 100 years from now, people are still going to remember Kesha and the sacrifice she made to this department. So I'm going to start by telling you just a little bit more about the monument here, and then we're going to go into La Kesha Nash. We all call her Kesha, but the monument was completed in 2022 as part of a memorial park that was constructed to honor our fallen. Like the monument to our fallen law enforcement officers, it's important to me and the men and women of this department that we also honor our professional staff and volunteers who lost their lives in the line of duty. Today we pay tribute to La Kesha Nash, or Kesha. Kesha began her career with the department on January 21st, 2006, and she was assigned to the Desert Communications Center, or DCC. After years of dedication, Kesha was promoted to Sheriff's Communications Supervisor in December of 2017. She then served as the training supervisor assigned to DCC. Kesha's good nature and loving spirit inspired many, both inside the Communications Center and in the field. I'm going to pause here for a moment. Folks, I used to be the captain of our dispatch center, and I can tell you, Kesha and the other supervisors that there, if I were ever to go to war, I'm going to war with them. And I think most of the sworn staff here would tell you our dispatchers deal with chaos day in and day out, and they become comfortable with it. And that's why I make that statement. And Kesha was one of those people that even though you knew you could go to war with her, somehow she made sense of this crazy world. Always. And she'd walk in and she'd have that innate ability to say, hey, what's wrong with you today? You're not your normal chipper self. And whack me across the head a couple of times and get me straight. And she knew that. She knew that about everybody that she worked with. Sadly, we lost Kesha on March 1st, 2021. However, I assure you that her laughter, her spirit, and her passion will live on. It lives in the hearts of her family, her friends, her co-workers, and again, all of us who knew her. Although we feel the tremendous loss, we also feel blessed to have had the honor of having known her. Cameron, Kyra and Cameron Jr., Jacqueline and David, I want to personally thank you for sharing Kesha, your family, with us. It can never be underestimated to say that we know who supported her day in and day out, Cameron, when she came to work to babysit us and know what she left behind. That's a big job. And please know that we know your sacrifice. And thank you for sharing her with us. She made all of our lives better. I don't know any other way to honor somebody that I always considered a friend and somebody that really is a caretaker. Think about it. Law enforcement's responsible to care for all of us in those situations that really we don't want to deal with, we're not trained to handle, and to come out there. But think about this for just a moment. Who takes care of them? As their captain, we had a major event occur. And this event was the Christopher Dorner event, for those of you that remember that. And during that event, our dispatchers rose to the occasion for dealing with chaos, the phenomenal amount of calls and different things that came into that center. And let's just say they weren't called sir or ma'am. There were a number of things that were very tragic that happened on that day. And when you think about their commitment and their service, think about what they go through. They send a law enforcement officer to a call, a crisis occurs, sometimes a deadly crisis. They have to remain calm and cool, get the resources to that person to help them out, and at the same time they're wondering anything and everything like we would as to what's happening with that person. But if they are not calm and cool and they're not engaged in the game, then we don't get those resources. We don't get the things that we need to try to solve the problem. Kesha was a problem solver. And today, it's my honor to unveil this monument that bears her name. Because folks, I can promise you, in an easy way, and I think the way she'd say it to me, she's all that in a bag of chips. Folks, as we take in the monument, and it's just a reminder that the dedication of our department members, no matter what their title, will never be forgotten or taken for granted. We'll always remember Lakeisha's dedication, good nature, and loving spirit. Before we conclude, we're going to take a moment to reflect on the memorial while Amazing Grace is performed by our Honor Guard.